Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Problems are a sign of life. I remember I interviewed, what was his name? Norman Vincent Peale, Dr. Peale, who wrote the original Power of Positive Thinking book. When I was 32, he was 92. And he invited me, because my career was growing, he invited me up to Toronto to meet him at an event he was doing. So I came backstage and we spent about an hour in advance. And I remember asking him, I said, I'm curious. I said, why are you still doing these events? And he goes, well, Tony, there's still a few negative people around here. At 92. I said, what's the most, and think about 92, he's men's horse and carriage to rockets, right? Nothing to computers, right? Just the changes in his lifetime were just unbelievable. And I said, what do you think is the most important thing people need to understand? And he said, the power of problems. And I said, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, the only people without problems are in cemeteries. And I said, I think I heard that somewhere. He said, 1947, I said that. He said, but they never finished my quote. I said, the only people without problems are in cemeteries. So if you don't have any, you better go on your knees and pray for some. Because he said, problems are a sign of life. And what I found is problems call us. He said he was sitting one time at this dais. He was at a speaking dais. It was like a luncheon. And beside him was the heavyweight champion of the world. It was back in the 40s, right? And he said that he looked at him. His name was Gene Tunney. He's a pretty famous guy. And he said, Gene, how do you get muscles like that? And Gene said, do you really want to know, or are you just asking? And he said, and he told me in his head, he goes, I was thinking, I was just asking, but now I really want to know, because he was so intense about it. He says, no, I really want to know. He goes, every day I push against unbelievable resistance, and that's what sculpts these muscles, right? That's how you build muscle. And he said, I thought about it a long time afterwards. And he said, I think that's how we develop spiritually. We push against problems, and that's what sculpts our souls. And so I think to think you shouldn't have problems, you can call them challenges. It feels better, but it's part of life. It's part of the journey. And solving them makes you bigger, more alive, more spiritually developed, more human, more caring. Pain and suffering, you don't have to suffer long, but we're all going to experience some of it, right? But decision-making is how we get out of it.
Yeah. And you're so right, because one of the big